How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the show. This is Tonight in America with your host, Don Terry's Jones. So, we're excited to have everyone out tonight. First episode. Been excited to finally get the show on the road, and now it has come to fruition. So, let's go over a couple of things. Nothing's too exciting is going to happen on the first episode, obviously. So I just thought I'd just give like an overview and more of like a quick rundown of what's to come and what to expect, basically. So, as you know, this used to be called the Click Podcast. So I decided to revamp, change the name, change what the podcast was going to be about because the simple reason is I want to talk about politics and the culture world stuff. So that's just basically what the short. Well, that's basically like two things. What we're going to talk about on the show, among other things. Now, I am contemplating doing game streams. Of course, we're going to have some chill streams, react to some videos, whatever. Anything that's currently going on that's big, newsy, and trendy, we will cover. So as you know, the first story that we're going to talk about, obviously, on the show is going to be about Donald Trump's war with the Ivy League schools. So I would go over the timeline of exactly why is that the Trump administration is targeting the Ivy League schools, and I will break it down, give my analysis of what to expect out of this, because I believe Harvard's already settled with the Trump administration in the courts. So like I said, the first stream is going to be the second episode. This is just like a pre recorded rundown of exactly what the show is going to be about. And like I said, this show is just mainly me just giving my political views on what's going on in this landscape of what we call geopolitics world. Now, as you may look at myself, what spectrum, where do I align on the spectrum? Well, obviously, I'm not a Democrat. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I didn't even vote for Trump. But I'll make it very clear on where I stand at. I'm America first. What does that mean? Well, it means I put my country first and foremost before I align myself with any other foreign entity that may or may not have arterial motives that are not aligned with my values, my beliefs. Now, of course, we have a lot to discuss about here because we have two current foreign wars that are going on concurrently: the Gaza war, or for better term, genocide, that's currently going on in Israel slash Palestine, and then we also have the Russia Ukraine war, which has been going on for mostly like 4+ years now, I believe. Gotta get caught up on that. But yeah, so we will cover both, obviously. Any breaking news with those? I just seen the other day that Trump and Putin are going to meet soon at an upcoming summit. So when that when the news of that breaks and their meeting breaks on TV, I'll recover it immediately. But for in the meantime, we will talk about some other stuff like economic stuff. If anything new comes out of the tariffs, or what's well, I'm not gonna cover too much like economic stuff because live is just kind of boring. I'll just keep it real. But we're basically just gonna keep this some big, interesting news. Now, as everyone may know, the Epstein files that were supposed to release recently did get a chance to get released. Why is that? Well, I'm not gonna go over it too much on here right now, because like I said, this episode's not about the Epstein files. It's not about the war with the Ivy League schools. The two foreign wars are going on concurrently. It's just this episode is just mainly, like I said, an overview. Just talking about what short-term goals to long-term goals do I have, and what do I expect out of this show. So my main thing was what I really want from here to change up the subject a little bit is to grow the grow the viewers, to grow the subscribers, and to grow the people that want to tune in and find something interesting to watch and listen to. That's mainly what I'm trying to provide to you. This is trying to be also trying to aware you of what's going on, simultaneously educating you. Excuse me. I want to bring in more. I want to start a, not to get ahead of myself, to start a literal army of followers, people that support the show in more than one way. Besides donating money, which we will talk about at a later time about how you can donate to the show. We're gonna have PayPal, Cash App, of course, and once I get monetized, YouTube my monetization, how I can be able to afford to do the show. But in order to do that, I need to grow my subscribers and my followers. I'm not asking you to like the video, but I mean it would be much appreciated. Especially, and also if you got some criticism or if you got something you want to tell me to approve on, write it down in the comment section. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to, if I need to work on something, I would love to hear your input. But that's just pretty much what I expect out of this show. Now, I, I'm sorry, I was distracted because like some today had got really got on my nerves. So I order a package from Amazon, and as you know, I've never had an issue with Amazon's delivery at all. But the funny thing happened was the package got delivered to the wrong apartment for the first time ever. And I'm looking at the photo because, as you know, when you order Amazon delivery, you get a photo of your package supposedly in front of your door. Now, I'm not going to dox myself, obviously, or even allude to where I'm at currently. But the point is, the package is not where it's supposed to be. It's in a spot where it's not even my apartment. So I left my job to go get my package. And of course, it wasn't in front of the door of my neighbors. So I thought they might have put it inside. So what I did was I wrote a letter and I put it in their door. So it's nice of them that they put my package actually in my door when I got home. But the point is, what I want to get at is just that how crazy is that Amazon? What I'm about to say is how crazy is that Amazon literally makes this big of a mistake. And I understand I hear the horror stories all the time, and I guess it goes to uh, Amazon's hiring process. Now, as everyone knows, Jeff Bezos is the billionaire owner of Amazon. And if you look on where he aligns at on the political spectrum, he's mostly a Democrat. Now, of course, I saw him when he was at the he was at the inauguration of President Donald Trump, but that doesn't mean he's a Republican. And what I'm getting at when I'm bringing up his political side is because you look at Amazon's hiring process. It's more of DEI. And what is DEI? Diversity, equality, inclusion. And basically, without going into a long definition of what DEI is, because I'm sure most people know what it is, but it just means that instead of hiring you based off of your your work achievements, your discipline, your history, more it just hires you based off of, well, if you're black, you get hired basically. Like, say you could have a working environment of hard working individuals, and then there's one out of place minority in that work environment. No, I'm not saying that they didn't earn the right to be in that work environment. But what I will say is that you put the thing about DEI is it always has this effect to where you have to hire someone even if they're not qualified for the job. And today with this Amazon delivery, and even it's my first, like I said, this isn't the first time it's happened. I'll make this clear. But I have to just go ahead and just say this. We all know who's driving most of those Amazon trucks, most times delivering your packages. It's a bunch of, you know, their hiring process is not that great. I'll just say that. And since this video is going to be on YouTube, of course, because I'll make this clear, this channel is going to be on well the first episode is going to be on YouTube and it's going to be on Rumble. So I'm trying to watch my words carefully because we're all going to be on YouTube and I want to make sure I can last on YouTube. I'm not trying to get banned on my first video. So I would just say that Amazon, to go back to what I was saying, Amazon just hires just a bunch of minorities. And and that's just basically what DEI is. Now, I'm not saying that people of different races weren't getting jobs before, along with white people, but the point is that Amazon is openly practices DEI hiring, and with this practice, you hire a lot of people that are quite frankly not qualified for certain types of positions. And in this case of this delivery mishap, you can see why like people have a problem with DEI. Me personally speaking, I work in an environment where I deal with beverage. I'm not gonna get too specific where I work at, but I do work with alcoholics. I work in a casino, and you see a bunch of crackheads, gambling addicts, alcoholics, every day in my environment. And today, it reminded me of exactly like people like this that go to casinos. Most times they work with Amazon too. They go to the casinos and spend their hard on Amazon checks that they worked. Like I believe Amazon uh, drivers works like 12 hours, I believe, because he's up at 6 in the morning, get to the facility to have their morning uh, meeting before they go out and deliver their packages, and they're given their routes on these at the meetings. But the problem is, I was actually interviewed for one of these positions, and I went up there, and I could see the environment that it was presenting. Now, as you may know, I'm obviously a mixed race guy, so in some cases, people could say DI could kind of apply to me, but I was look. I'm not making an argument for it. I'm actually making arguments against it. That people need to be hired based off of their work ethnicity, not based off the just the color of their skin. And that's just basically why Amazon hires so many black people. Then you just it didn't like today. You just deal with this problem. This is why like I have so much disdain and just dislike for DEI practice and why it should not be practiced by any company. Anyways, yeah, so I saw that and like I was texting Amazon and literally asking, "Hey, my package is gone. They delivered the package to my wrong house." If my neighbors weren't so nice and considerate and brought my package to my door, you know, imagine I didn't get it. And it's just basically I'll tell you what it is. It's just energy drinks. If you're gonna steal energy drinks from somebody, then I mean, hey, damn, you really want something for free, even if you didn't order it, like an energy drink. Like I'm not like I said, I don't live in the most like lavish apartment complex, I would say that, you know, I do live around a bunch of black people. Now, of course, they're not all bad around here. So, and people going to probably clip this and think I'm a racist. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. All right. And I'm just telling jokes. So please, for the love of God, don't take what I'm saying serious. But the point is, what I've just said was that this is why, like, I guess this is kind of like me basically covering like a cultural war topic when I'm talking about DEI. Okay. And why I'm so against it. I just dislike jobs that will just hire you based off of your sex, your race, religion. It should be only work ethnic, not all the other things. Now, I'm not going to make an argument for what race works harder because, I mean, let's be real. I mean, a bunch of illegals that work harder now, they're getting deported. So, I mean, as they should. You shouldn't come into a country illegally. But the point of what I'm saying is that we need to stop prioritizing DEI. Like it just needs to be abolished from work. Like Amazon just needs to hire people just based on work ethic. You know, not just hire them just cause they're just cause. I'll just say that just cause. Because that's just basically what it is. I mean, like well, we don't want to feel like we're racist if we don't hire other people besides just white people, which for the most part, I mean, I've been in the Amazon facility. The ones that run the facility are all white for the most part, and a bunch of the workers of truck deliveries, the people on the lines, different races, of course. Now, I'm not saying some of them, all of them, don't do their jobs, but for the most part, you you have like when it comes to like the delivery truck drivers, most times these guys are fucking off, not taking their job seriously. Some of these guys really go out and spend their checks on Jordans, chains, you know, nice cologne. Well, of course, I'm not against cologne. Obviously, you want to smell good, but the fact is that I'm looking at it like from this perspective that this type of hiring process is what makes jobs look bad. Because the problem is why they don't prioritize hiring based off of work rate is because they just don't want to be labeled racist. And I feel like they just need to get out of this mentality of like feeling like it's racist to just hire like basically if the hiring process was far better than what it used to be, and they would just do far better screening, far better like mental analysis of people that come in looking for a job. I guarantee you they will be able to get rid of so many bad apples in work environments. I understand everyone needs jobs. Of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to work, but in certain positions, you should not be able to work. That's what I'm basically arguing. To me, people that are not equipped for the job probably shouldn't be hired. I don't care race, religion, sex, whatever. They should be hired based off of their accomplishes, their history, and basically, are they a good fit for the company? Now, me, for example, was a college guy going to college for political science at first, dropped out. Now I'm doing a podcast. Go figure. Now I work as a bartender. So I look at it that my I guess my work history is tied to making drinks for a bunch of alcoholics, and it's not something that I want to flex about because I pretty much despise alcohol. I think it's degenerate. I think it's the scum. It's pretty much like I think I hate weed smokers far more than I hate alcoholics. People gonna be like, "Oh, why you hate weed smokers, bro?" I work with people that are stoned and don't and aren't work and aren't completely disciplined. Like when they get stoned, they become lazy. And I've worked multiple jobs with multiple people who smoke. And when they smoke, they are just not productive. They're not on point. They're not focused because they can't be. They're literally stoned out their mind, laughing at everything, too lazy to put in the work and effort. And then the people that are actually there to work and actually do the job correctly have to suffer for it. Now, in some cases, you can make an argument for an alcoholic that is far better than alcoholics are far better than weed smokers. I can't believe I have to even make this argument. But the fact is, I see more functioning alcoholics compared to I do see weed smokers. As a matter of fact, people that prioritize smoking weed so much don't even have jobs. Now, same thing with alcoholics. Okay, this is not me defending neither one, but I will make the case for why alcoholics are mostly better than weed smokers. Like that's just completely just degenerate, dumb. And the crazy thing about it, this is a lot of guys that work at Amazon. You know, these degenerate weed smoking, Jordan buying, chain wearing, fried chicken loving people. I swear I'm making so many racist jokes, people are probably gonna really think I'm a racist. Let me make this clear. I am mixed race. I don't hate black people. I roast everybody. Hey, change it on. I'll probably have to edit that out. I'll probably have to edit that out. Alright, let me chill out because bro, people are really gonna be thinking I'm having a racist stream right now. Anyways, so let's just get back on topic right now. Wow, bro, that Amazon package delivery really had me so drove today, man. Cause I'm at work and I'm literally trying to focus, but I don't even know if my package is even gonna be at my door when I get off. That's how mad I was fucking was. Like, imagine that you spend 30 something dollars, like $32 on something from Amazon, and your package is not at your door. And some retard who can't fucking read delivers it to your fucking neighbors when your address is clearly written on your profile on Amazon, of course, along with your apartment number. But this illiterate idiot brought it to the wrong door. You know, if that was me as his boss, I probably would have had this faggot, bruh, bruh. I can't believe I actually said the word. I'll, I'll hopefully I can keep that in. It's just one time me saying it. Okay, I apologize. But anyways, hopefully this moronic imbecile who delivered my package to the wrong address is dealt with severely, even though he's not going to be, because it's Friday. Where Friday it was Saturday. Right now it's 4:57 a.m. where I'm recording this. But if that, like I said earlier, if that was me, I would have fired this guy. The fact of the matter is that how could you make a big mistake on that when it clearly says my address, my apartment number, everything on there, and you still delivered it to the wrong address? It's like, are they even trying with the hiring process? Jesus Christ. Anyways, I think I've spent a little too much time on that. Let me just try to bring it back a little bit and let's just focus on what the show's about. Okay. So as you know, like I said, the main mission of this podcast is to grow into a big political movement. That's the main thing I want to get out of this. That's what I really hope to achieve out of this. I want to be able to start a movement that rivals other political movements and sometimes can also be aligned with other ones too. I want to grow the army. Start off small, of course, then work our way up in numbers till we reach the goal. The thing is, aspire to youth coming up. You know, generations are going to have it rough, probably. Considering I'm from Generation Z, so nothing more rough than us right now. We are dealing with the brunt of what the establishment's throwing at us. Still no excuse though. I mean, can't make no excuses. You gotta push forward. You can't let life take you down, beat you up, and leave you that way. You need to be like Bruce Wayne. He saw his parents got murdered in front of him, and what did he do? He went off for much of his youth to go travel the world, to get educated, to train in martial arts, to read all the books he can read, and come back and be Batman. Batman. That's exactly what you need to have the mentality of like Bruce Wayne. You need to, I'm not saying envision your parents dying. That's kind of crazy. I even said that, but it's the spirit he embodies after they died, is what I'm saying. Embrace. Embrace being Batman. Imagine you want to make a change for your city, but in order to do that, like even Batman acknowledged, you have to do that in numbers. And how do you do that? You work well with others. Justice League, Avengers. I'm giving the superhero examples, but as you know, there are the Democrats and the Republican Party. You have two different political sides that somewhat are against each other, but in some ways they do kind of align on a lot of stuff that they supposedly are supposed to be against. I know that's a hot take. I just saw 20 Democrats and Republicans against one populist. I think his name was Stank. I might pronounce that wrong. He is an atheistic Muslim. He was a Muslim before, but now he's a kafir. But the point is, he made a lot of good arguments about, and I do agree with that. Yeah, the establishments, even though they are in different parties, they do align on each other in a lot of ways. Especially when it comes to getting stuff passed. When we really need stuff that needs to be passed. And it reminds me about like the big beautiful bill. Now, of course, Trump was pushing so hard to get this bill passed before July 4th, and it passed, of course. And he was able to get it on his desk on July 4th and signed it during a fireworks ceremony at the White House. And in order to need it, he needed some Democrats and some Republicans. Now, of course, you had people on the Republican side that were against passing the bill, and this was led to like a tie to the point where Vice President J.D. Vance had to come in and be the tie-breaking vote. And when he came in, you already know the bill was going to get passed. So we look at them and think that just because they're on different sides doesn't mean that they're not aligned on certain things. And what does that mean? I mean, they distract you with all these cultural war debates and stuff like that, but in reality, they both agree with each other in a lot of ways. The only ones that really be going back and forth and doing most of the fighting is the people that vote. You have the left and the right. You have the progressives, the Democrats, the liberals, the leftists, whatever loony word they want to be called. You have the far right, the Disney right. Well, we also let's not forget the center. Center could be center left, center right. Got Tim Pool, who will be center right. You got Asmongold, who is a is what I call him a political streamer. I mean, he's mostly a gamer, but he is seem to be more dipping into politics now. So he's center. I still consider him center. And of course, you got the far right. I guess by me making some of these racist jokes, I guess people will probably group me in with them. But I mean, hey, who knows? I asked, I think it was Grok on X. I asked him what was my political ideology, and Larry told me I'm nationalist. I'm not even joking when I say this. So, but the point, but the point is, of what I'm saying is, let's just go ahead and let's get back to the main subject. Is that the main purpose of the podcast? Like I said earlier, grow movement. That's the long term. Short term, gain viewership, gain subscribers, get monetized, short term goals. And that's just something that I really, really look forward to. And I look forward to, meeting new people, hopefully, on this journey. And interesting enough, I hope to look forward to people like you who are going to probably tune into the first episode, follow me along on this journey, support the journey too. Like I said, you have many ways you can be able to support, like going to PayPal, Cash App. Uh, there's something else, but I don't think I need a GoFundMe. Not Carmelo Anthony. If shit, he does some time. But the point is, let me make this clear. I'm not sponsored by nobody. I'm not gonna be brought by nobody. I don't have a number. I don't want to sell out. I want to be able to keep my soul. The point is that I want to grow my movement. That means my movement for me and people that follow me, and no one else, no one that I'm controlled about, no one that I can't say, no one that isn't going to tell me what I can or can't say on the mic. Now, of course, yeah, I'm on YouTube. Of course, I will be somewhat courteous and respectful to the platform's terms of service, but they are ambiguous at times. And for me, I I'm very controversial. I'll say that. I'm not trying to flex that at all. But the point is, I'm not trying to be controlled. I don't want to feel like I'm controlled. I don't want to sell my soul. I want to keep my soul so that way I can stay who I am. So I can be authentic. So I can be the proper leader I need to be for people that look up to me. I'm not even gonna flex like I'm the best role model guy on the planet. I'm not. I'm just some guy living in Louisiana. Average IQ here is 65. But the point is, I want to grow. I want to help others. I want to bring together a coalition of like minded men. This movement is basically just for men, not for the women. We're probably going to have some women join in here and there, but in order for women to really help win the culture war, the kitchen, you know, those sandwiches ain't going to make themselves. My clothes ain't going to get folded up by themselves. The living room isn't going to get vacuumed and cleaned by itself. The whole purpose is like the man need to be out doing some work to help the community, improve the economy, become rich, become smart, become educated, get into politics. If you're a young guy who will probably check this out and you're like in high school, elementary school, you should keep go to college. Now, as a guy who dropped out, of course, I probably shouldn't be the one to advocate for it because hey, I'm dropped out, I'm doing a podcast, but I would never encourage anybody to do this. I would just encourage you to go to college and be educated. Get an actual degree. Get into politics. I don't care how you do that. Or become a lawyer, become a doctor, become somebody of significant status, and basically elevate yourself in life. Become elite human capital. I believe I heard this from Richard Anania. He said, become elite human capital. And that's what you need to do. You need to elevate yourself as a individual, as a man, and become smart. It's not all about chasing after women, having meaningless sex. Of course, I understand guys are gonna be guys, whatever, but it's about trying to get over, get past the system or beat the system, or Betty and Andrew Tate's lingo, beat the matrix, overcome the matrix, become the chosen one, become Neo. In order to become Neo, you have to take the red pill. As cliche as it sounds, that's what you need to do. It's not about going out here and just making a name for yourself, making money, because there's a lot of idiots that make money and they're just not smart at all. The point is to not just make a living, make money, have status. It's also to be properly educated and caught up on what's going on in the world. That way, you know yourself how to maneuver in this environment. So, and that's basically what I want to take you on this wild ride with me. You watch me. As a matter of fact, I'm putting myself on the line in a lot of ways so that way people like you that are probably at home that are scared to go out there and say what you really want to say because you're afraid of losing your job, losing your woman, losing something of substance to yourself because you can't speak the truth. And if you speak the truth, you're going to get punished. Well, I tell you what, I'll take the bullets for you so you can go out there and keep going to your 9 to 5, work your job, earn your paycheck, elevate, get a manager position, and rise up in the company. And then you become so rich, you can fund the show. And you can also improve the situations for you and your family. I don't want guys to go out here thinking that they have to be like edge lord. Look, I understand you want to tell a funny joke, maybe like a South Park s racist joke, but don't put yourself at risk. The whole point is you got guys like me that are out here that will put themselves on the line just so you don't have. And I'm just trying to make you understand that look, you need to be smart. You need to move carefully. You need to move cautiously. Don't trust no one unless they prove to you that they're worth trusting. Now, of course, we also will address a couple of other things on here too as well. So, will we have merch in the future? Now, I know this is the first episode. I'm not trying to do a merch plug right now at this advanced stage because it's very, very early. Like this is just literally just the first episode. So, if I do merch in a later point, it just depends. If people really wanted that badly, I would do merch, of course. I do plan on making me a jacket for me personally, a custom, and a shirt. But if you're interested in merch, we can. Hey, if more people demand it, I'll do it. I just think this is kind of a headache, you know, doing merch. But it does help creators grow and actually make a lot more money. let me also address another thing: the platforms I'm going to be streaming on. Well, I already said it earlier about YouTube and Rumble, but am I going to stream on other platforms? Am I going to be on Kick? Am I going to be on Twitch? Or what's the other one? Uh, Party, I believe. Not really interested in that. And also you can stream on X and Facebook. So there is a Tonight in America Facebook channel. If obviously if you type in the name Tonight in America, you'll find the page. Now, of course, when I stream on Facebook, yeah, I might do like a pseudo call-in show on Facebook where you can FaceTime call into the show or whatever. Or if you want to do audio, I might. Of course, in the future, I do want to do a call-in show, like a call-in debate show. Come in, just we debate topics on camera, go back and forth, have a good, fun exchange. I'm welcome to anybody coming on. We'll never push no one away. So that's what I plan on doing with Facebook for the most part, because there are people on Facebook that are not on Rumble, and of course, everyone uses YouTube. So, but just in case I were to get banned from both platforms, I'm going to really be plugging Rumble. Now, Rumble, as many people might know, is a YouTube equivalent, but is growing and has free speech. YouTube, unfortunately, as much as it's been questioned for its terms of service over the years, and obviously it's very like doesn't cater to like um a free speech narrative. You know, a lot of people that are were banned for very dumb reasons a lot of times, and most of the times it's off platform behavior. And I look at that as like why, and like I look at some of these bans that people went through, and to the point where YouTube won't even still allow them on, or you bring them back, makes me think I'm scared for this channel. That's why I have Rumble, and just in case something, I hate to say it, if I in case I get banned off of Rumble, hey, we're gonna start our own streaming channel. But like I said, Rumble is gonna be somewhat debased home. Of course, YouTube is going to be prioritized first too, because obviously I want to get monetized on here first. I want to grow, be discovered on here, because that's what YouTube is basically used for. It's a discovery platform to grow your following, and then, hey, God forbid, you get banned or monetization is coming down hard on you, and you just go to some other platform. They got like a bunch of these woke Twitch streamers that are on Twitch, and God, they're so scared to say anything. They don't even have like Osmond Gold is like one of the ones besides Hassan Nabi, who's a retard, doesn't really have no actual real takes. But you have Osmond Gold, who's like one of the right wing political commentators, and crazy because he's if you look at how like he talks on camera and how he covers geopolitical videos, seems like to me, Osmond goes more of like a center. He doesn't give me right wing or even far right vibes. But hey, he's on Twitch. We all know the crazies, rainbow hair color, sluts. Literally, I seen this video once of, I think this was a Twitch streamer. He was making out with a microphone. That's what they allow on Twitch. Now, of course, when I said earlier, I said I would do video game streams. That depends. I mean, like, of course, I'll do them on YouTube and Rumble, but I do have a Twitch channel. I'm just kind of afraid that if I stream on there or even talk about politics like this, they're gonna ban me immediately. Now, of course, Kick. I'm gonna get to gambling, so I don't know. Now, obviously, I know people that are big streamers stream on there and don't have gambling or stake deals. So if I were to go to Kick, it'll probably be later on. It's not on my immediate time to go and stream on Kick. I have really no interest in streaming on Kick. But like I said, I would just prioritize YouTube and Rumble. I will create an X account for Tonight in America. I do have an X account, but I'm not using my name on X. And I hate to say, I'm kind of like incognito on X. Somebody in the conversation be like, he just said he's incognito on X like a dumbass. He said it on the video. I'm like, yeah, but you still don't even know what account I'm even using. So I would probably like I said, I'm gonna create a Tonight in America X account, and we're gonna probably need to try to grow the following on there. So whatever traffic I get on YouTube, I'll send you guys over to X. Follow me over there. Let's grow the following, and I'll stream on X too. Some of these platforms I might do a platform only stream. For Rumble, of course, because they have locals. What I am thinking about doing right now, and I'll announce it ahead of time just in case people get caught off guard. I might do a paywall streams where we watch movies or we cover forbidden topics that I don't want to discuss that aren't behind a paywall. And of course, wish I had the mixer. I wish I had like a soundboard so I can hit the bang. We will discuss those because I don't have a paywall. We'll discuss them on Rumble. So on YouTube, don't expect me to go too hard. I'm not gonna touch certain subjects on YouTube. I might try to do it in a subtle way, but I just don't like self censoring myself. So if I'm gonna touch on that subject and what people know what I'm talking about, and a lot of ha 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 ha, the wave on Rumble only, not touching that on YouTube. So, like I said, we will have Rumble exclusive streams. At a later point, I might consider a paywall for, say, like a movie, like a documentary. Like we'll watch a documentary behind a paywall because copyright's a bitch and you hate to get hit with it. So I'm trying to avoid copyright, obviously. So I know on YouTube they're very strict about copyright on here. You can't even like uh what's that? You can't even stream like certain shows on here. Like I see some of these um movie or TV show reaction channels. Like they literally have to like basically kind of like ghost the screen a little bit to where you can barely make out what they're watching because they have to avoid copyright strikes on YouTube. That's how bad YouTube's copyright strikes are. So, like I said, Rumble mostly for like exclusive content sometimes. And in the future, if I do get on X, I'll do some exclusive X content on there too as well. Not like XXX either. Just in case some of you freaks in the comment section are thinking like I'm trying to get a bound chick a wop wow on with somebody. It's not gonna happen. Now, like I said, I wasn't planning on being here too much long. We just gonna talk about a couple of things. I wasn't expecting you guys to tell you guys that even that Amazon story, but I mean, I just had to rant about that for a moment. And I guess we did kind of technically cover a topic. We covered DEI first episode. I wasn't planning on doing it, but that my mishap with my pockets earlier kind of just pissed me off, so I just had to talk about it. But anyways, probably about to get out of here soon. So, like I said, this is recorded It's 5:22 in the morning. I've stayed up pretty late to record this for everyone to get introduced to the channel. I'm also gonna record some other like 20-minute little videos for everyone. Talk about a couple of things, like cover some, basically just cover like just get just a get to know you type of topic, basically. Like, say, I get inspirational. I'll say that inspirational videos I'll drop, like 20-minute inspiration videos. Say, if you're a guy, you're going out there, you're going through depression, which I don't really believe in depression, but I understand some guys out there are probably sad for some apparent reason, and I would have a 20-minute video of me just basically just yapping and just telling you to get over it, and that I understand that life is kicking you in the ass, but don't give up. If you're contemplating killing yourself, that's the last thing you should ever even want to do to you or your loved ones. You want to uplift yourself, and you should, keep fighting, because that's what they will want out of you. Yeah, so we just do some inspirational motivation videos, pretty much like they're like 20 minutes, 10 minutes long, depending. And I just cover like basically like some very increasing and concerning issues that I see a lot in young men. The last thing we want is more men to keep killing themselves. It's already like, sorry, we already live in dark times right now. The rise of feminism, especially because a lot of young men are just refusing to get married young now again, because they're dealt a bad hand right now. Like, in the dating field is just shit right now. You got woman after woman signing up for OnlyFans, signing their soul away, and just for money, basically. It's all for money. And young men are just not willing to be committed to these women anymore, as they shouldn't. I mean, it's not option for them. I mean, whores don't make great wives. I'll say that again. Whores don't make great wives. Even some of the guys that are been married for some time now are literally like they get cooked by their own wife. And I just find that just like pussified. You're the man of the household. There's no reason why you should let your woman lead you. It should be the other way around. You need to be the leader for your family. You need to be the man that leads your family, not the other way around. And that's what I'm starting to see with a lot of these guys that get in marriage. I had a buddy of mine that got married recently, and like I said, I mean, I'll bring up one thing right quick, and then I'll get out of here. He signed. For me, marriage shouldn't be involving the government in your business. And why do I say that? You shouldn't be signing a marriage license which doesn't really make your marriage official. Your official for marriage comes under God. That's where you get married. The marriage license is just an incentive for your wife to leave you when she feels like she's not being loved anymore, or she gets bored, basically, or when times get hard and she just takes off your shit anyways and just goes off and go fuck some random dude on the street, probably some random black guy. The point of what I'm saying is that men today, regardless of what race it is, are dealing with a lot of hardship because what feminism's doing to them. You got women, young women today that are just signing over their bodies, even the women that are going to get college educated. What for? You know, I'm Muslim, of course. I'm not the best practitioner, so don't quote me directly. But the point is that young men today are just not set up right for marriage anymore, like how they were in the '60s, the '50s, '70s, the '80s. Feminism has grown so strong. It's become so powerful that women are just women are to the point now to where they don't settle anymore and they just want to go out there and take on the world as if they're a man and then expect a man to settle for them right after. And I tell you, that's just bullshit. Being married young, when the male and the woman are both married young, they've been with each other, they lost their virginities to each other, and then they have beautiful children, is optimally the right way to go. But is it still? But is it still? Is it still like like even available to that anymore to men? Do we even still have that option anymore? And I feel like we don't. I feel like today we're not set up to where we can get married young and that we have so many hurdles that are thrown at us that it does not present the right opportunity for us to even be able to consider marriage as a thought. And as you know, like I said, a lot of women are becoming more college educated today. That's based on stats alone. More than men. And drop out of school and find higher paying jobs though, and they're able to feed and afford a family. But is that all? One in three men are a virgin or haven't had sex in a year, and that's just kind of a sad reality for a lot of guys. Then you also have a bunch of these women who are fine with being passed around by the 1 to 5% of top tier men when there's less of them and more of them, not realizing that this is the life that they chose. This is just what they have to settle for because they either have to either lower their standards because most of these chicks that I'm describing have higher standards. They will look for guys that are going to take care of them. They look for guys that are able to afford basically their lifestyles. A lot of these women are sluts. A lot of these women are sex workers. They do strange things on camera for money. They're online prostitutes. And they flex about it. They're happy about it. It says, it's fed my life. It's kept food on my table for me and my family. And the way I look at it, that's complete. That's just that reality. Considering how most of these sex workers, porn stars, or corn stars, let me say that because I am on YouTube. It's considering how most of them have tragic endings at the end, especially considering that most of them don't grow out old together with someone that they truly love, don't have children that see grow into good, upstanding adults because real, I'm on drugs, and put a gun in their mouth, boom, over with. Like I said, this is just me talking to the young man right now. Let you know I understand completely what you're going through. I'll let you know I'm here and I will speak up for you in any way I can. I don't want you to sit there and feel like no one cares about you. I'll tell you, you do matter, King. I mean, I make a joke, but you do matter in a way. And I want you to know I'm here for you guys. I want to be the fearless leader that you guys look up to and you guys grow with. I want all of you guys to sit here and take something out of what I've said or what I've done and apply it to yourself as long as it's positive and nothing negative. All right. That went a little bit longer than I thought, but go ahead and end it right here. So I want to thank everyone for joining today. First episode. So just smash the like button down, leave a comment, hit the follow or subscribe button in case you're looking at Rumble or YouTube. Give me some feedback. Let me know how you think about the first episode. Let me know how you think about the mic. The reason why I didn't start it the day prior because I wrote this on social media that I was supposed to start this on Friday, get the episode up. I was dealing with mic issues, of course, got it fixed. So I want to thank everyone for joining me for a successful first episode. Second episode, trying to contemplate. I was gonna have it Sunday, probably going to push it back. Um, Probably gonna do it Tuesday for sure, or maybe Monday or Tuesday. Maybe probably do it Monday. Gonna probably be late when I go live, so hopefully everyone's gonna be up and can join me, and we can have a good time. We're gonna be covering Trump versus the Ivy League schools on Monday. Trying to go for an hour. Give me a little hour monologue. Have my notes written down now because this is just basically me just going on the fly right now. So, but anyways, let me go and get out of here. I want to thank everyone for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.